What's going on, Graveyard Shift family? It is your fearless shift leader, Dalen Spratt, clocked in for another true crime story. Family, listen, I believe in rehabilitation. I feel like someone can do something. They can go to jail. They can come to terms with what they did, take accountability. They can rehabilitate. They can reintegrate into society positive way. Listen, I got cousins in jail. I got friends in jail. Some of them need to be there. And some of them I feel like can be let out for a wide array of things. I know killers. I know bank robbers. I know drug dealers. I know parking ticket getters. I know a wide array of people. You see, I grew up in the church, y'all. And the church tell you, come as you are. It's the place for people that have done the worst. And my mama was a pastor. So I was just always in communication with all types of walks of life. So I don't judge, but sometimes I judge. And this story is one of them cases in which I damn am judging. Y'all, let me tell you about this woman by the name of Bobby Parker. You see, Bobby Parker is the wife of Deputy Warden Randy Parker. And you see, they live with their two daughters right next to the Oklahoma State Reformatory, right? Your normal family, two kids, husband and wife. Everything seems to be copacetic. Love is in the air. A familying, if you get what I'm saying. Over the years, Bobby had worked with several different inmates in rehabilitation programs. Mind you, a lot of these prisons and the reformatories and stuff, they have rehabilitation programs in which outsiders come in and they help them out. Granted, my mother goes to prisons once a month and she preaches to the inmates. This is not uncommon. Now, there was a man who was a convicted murderer by the name of Randolph Dial. Now, you see, Randolph Dial worked as a caretaker at Bobby's house. So her and her husband, they live right next to the reformatory. It's a little program where, inmates can come out and work in the community and, get credit or whatever. So this convicted murderer, Randolph Dial, was the man that was assigned to Bobby Parker's house. Now, you see, Bobby, the female, and Dial, the convicted murderer, began working together when money was donated to the prison to start an art program. You see, they often spent time alone together in the Parker's garage, which they had begun to convert into a ceramic studio. So this prisoner coming next door, kicking it with Bobby, you know what I'm saying? They doing art in the garage by themselves. Okay, now, during this time, they say that the prisoner Dial apparently started to develop feelings for Bobby. And after a few weeks, Randy, who's Bobby's husband, felt that Dial was spending too much time at their house. Now, this is Bobby with an I, B-O-B-B-I. So, Bobby, Lady Bobby, just so we understand the names in this story. Randy is married to Bobby. Bobby is doing charitable work with Dial, who is a convicted murderer that lives next door in the prison. So Randy, Bobby's husband, also believed that Dial was trying to control the arts program. So he ends up telling Dial, look, man, I need you to back off my wife, Bobby, and I need you to get your hands off my art department. Now, listen, my wife is one thing, but my art department, you better take your hands off of it. Okay, so now, on August 30th, 1994, Randy and Bobby, they having breakfast with their daughters, right? So later on, Randy ends up leaving for work next door and the girls end up leaving for school. And when Randy left for work, Dial was already there working in the front yard. He was like, man, dead all that noise you talking about, bro. I'm coming back to work. This is where my program is releasing me to. This is where I'm coming to work. I don't care what you talking about, Deputy Warden. So Randy ends up seeing him. Like, I know I told Buddy not to come back. He's like, but let me go ahead, go to work. We'll get this squared away later. So Randy ends up coming back home at noon for lunch. And he found the entire house empty, right? There was nobody there. Nobody. Bobby wasn't there. Dial wasn't there. The kids wasn't there. Nobody was there. There was a note from Bobby that said that she had gone shopping and she had left her husband Randy a sandwich in the refrigerator. So Randy didn't think nothing of it, you know what I'm saying? He didn't believe anything was wrong. You know what I'm saying? He went to the refrigerator, got his sandwich, sat down, took a little break, kicked his feet up, ate, ended up going back to work. So Randy later returned to the prison. And then at 4:45 p.m., his oldest daughter ends up calling him at work saying that her mama Bobby hadn't returned home. But Randy was like, no, it's cool, man. Your mama left me a note. She went shopping. There's some food in the refrigerator. Don't worry about it. Mama will be home soon. 30 minutes later, Randy ends up coming back home to find out that his wife Bobby still wasn't back. Like, hold on now. It don't take 9 hours to go shopping, Shawty. Where is my wife? So now Randy starts to begin to fear that something was wrong or something had happened to Bobby. He contacted all the area hospitals, but he could not find a single trace of Bobby. Then Randy remembered that he had not seen Dial that afternoon either when he came back for lunch and when he came home from work. He was like, hold on now. 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, but this ain't adding to neither. Where is my wife and where is this convicted murderer Dial that I forbode, if that's the right word, to come to my house? So he asked an officer at the prison to check Dial's cell. Now, this is when the officer realized and discovered that Dial was not in his cell. Now, Randy's mind started running now. He feared that Dial had escaped jail and abducted Bobby in the process. Do you know how like empty and probably like full of fear this man felt? You walk out the house and you see the man there after you told him not to be there, but you don't act. You leave, only to come back and realize that your wife is gone, and so is his prisoner who's missing from prison. Now, this is where the story just gets stickier. You see, later that evening, Bobby's mother, Clara, received a call from Bobby. You see, Bobby told Clara to call her husband, Randy, and the girls and to tell them that she loved them. Now, her mother says she ended up hanging up the phone before she said anything else. Clara knew that something bad had to have been happening to her daughter. Now, the next day, Bobby ends up calling her best friend and gave her the same message. Hey, call Randy, tell the girls I love them. Click. Now, the friend felt like she was being held against her will. She was like, it was just too quick of a conversation. It was too cryptic. It was too fast. Somebody had to be holding my best friend against her will. Then 24 hours after that, Bobby's van was found abandoned just across the Texas border. Investigators found that it had been cleaned and there was no evidence of a struggle anywhere in it. Now, cigarettes. They found some cigarettes. Basic Cigarettes was the brand that they found around the vehicle. Now, that same brand was noted as the brand of cigarettes that Dial's murdering ass always smoked. Red flag. Now, Bobby's husband, Randy, learned from an inmate that for several months, Dial had been actively trying to barter for Valium on the prison black market. He was trying to get anything he can to get some Valium. So they believe that Dial may have drugged Bobby with some Valium when he kidnapped her. However, there was no concrete evidence of a kidnapping at all. Like, they don't know. They don't know if they together. They don't know where he is. They don't know if they left together. He took her. There's no answers at this point. Now, investigators considered the possibility that Bobby had left willingly with Dial. That might have been her boo thing. He had made several comments to inmates that he was infatuated with her. However, investigators have noted that they found no evidence that suggested that she left willingly with him. And Randy is certain that she would never leave voluntarily with Dial. Of course, that's his wife. That's what he's supposed to say. Ain't no way. Listen, you tell me right now, it ain't no way my wife Stacy gonna leave me for a convict named Willie. Willie Jenkins. No way. You think. I hope. Let's pray. But my point is, you don't know. Now, 10 days after Bobby's disappearance, Bobby made one final phone call. This time it was to her sister-in-law. And once again, she sounded upset on the phone. She asked her sister-in-law to tell the girls that she loved them and that everything would be all right. Now, after this phone call, that would be the last time that anyone had heard from Bobby. Now, during that time, there have been several sightings of Dial and a woman who people believe to be Bobby. And one of the most credible sightings occurred in September of 1994 at an art sale in Galveston, Texas. The woman had blonde hair, and so investigators believed that Bobby had either dyed her hair or was wearing a wig. So witnesses said that she seemed nervous and scared. And during this time, investigators and Bobby's family were just literally searching for her and Dial. Now, this is where the case gets interesting. In April of 2005, Dial, the convicted murderer, was arrested in East Texas on a chicken ranch after a tip from an America's Most Wanted viewer. So this story ran on America's Most Wanted. That's how they get you. They put you on Unsolved Mysteries, First 48, America's Most Wanted, Cheaters. They put you on these shows and they put your face out there and they rely on the public to do their job. And that's exactly what happened. Somebody watched America's Most Wanted, saw Dial's ass and was like, he looks real familiar. They reported him. Police came and arrested Dial. Check this out. Bobby was found working on a farm soon thereafter. Dial was returned to prison and Bobby was reunited with her family. However, she was later arrested and charged with helping Dial's escape. Police was like, hold on, girl, you a little bit too happy. You was a little bit too happy on this farm. This was your man. This was your man. You had a family, 2 daughters, and you ran off and left them with Dial? With a bar of soap? Listen, the charges against Bobby indicated that her and Dial were romantically involved. But look, to this day, Dial even denied this claim. He also claimed that their relationship was never romantic. And he reportedly also told her that he would harm her or her family if she ever tried to leave him. So Dial took the full blame. He was like, man, me and her was never in a relationship, man. You know, I kidnapped her. I threatened to kill her family if she told anything. Like, it's all me. It has nothing to do with her. Yeah, all right. That sounds like somebody who was already never getting out of jail, just trying to take the blame for something else. The messed up part, Dial ended up dying in 2007 after a lengthy illness in Oklahoma at the age of 62. Now, Bobby's trial on escape charges began on July 5th, 2011. Prosecutors claim to have found photos, emails, and handwritten letters, and check this out, and condoms in Bobby and Dial's trailer that indicated that they were, in fact, a willing couple. They also claim that Bobby had previously had intimate contact with other prison inmates. Now, Bobby denied this and insisted that she had been drugged and kidnapped by Dial. However, she was later convicted of helping him escape from prison, and after serving 6 months of a 1-year sentence, she was released. Since then, she has moved back in with her husband, Randy, and she continues to maintain that she did not help Dial escape. Listen, I don't claim to know everything, but I know some things. And what I do know is that woman ran off with that man willingly, guys. Got caught, Buddy took the blame, because why not? You already charged for murder. You already not getting out. But you gonna go back to Randy? Randy didn't do nothing to you, Bobby. And Randy, stand strong, brother. Bobby says she was kidnapped, y'all. Hey, maybe she was. If she was, I apologize. Randy, love your queen. But Bobby, if you lie, stand up, Randy. Stand up. Love.